everyone. I'm Frankie Gabriel,
I'm Michael Myers.
and today we'll be presenting you with our first and final episode for our podcast, Clownin Around. So I'm a sophomore at Wilkes University, criminology major, and I take part in the ROTC program here.
I am also a sophomore here at Wilkes University. My major is also criminology, and I am also in the ROTC program.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy people.
So, Michael Myers, what do you think of clowns?
So clowns personally just have always had a bad rep, especially in movies. For example, like the movie It, so types of other things. And my personal experience with clowns, they kind of scare the hell out of me at some points. How about you?
As to why. It was pretty scary. I mean, he just ripped his arm off. But, yeah, I agree. Clowns give everybody a bad rep. I don't think everyone has ever liked clowns. If you are, then, man, you just grew up on horror movies.
Yeah.
They're more of a Halloween costume than an entertainer.
Or a
when's
kid's
the last
birthday
time?
party.
Yeah, when's the last time you seen a clown go to the hospital?
Yeah.
Never. But today we will be informing you about John Wayne Gacy and his different techniques he used to lure his victims into finally their demising death.
So men like John Wayne Gacy fall into the type of groups of people who give clowns a bad reputation. He regularly performed at children's hospitals and charitable events as Pogo the Clown or Patches the Clown, and a few different he has had in a few different personas he has created. He's best known for the persona as the Killer Clown.
So we're going to start off with John Wayne Gacy's early life and how this has affected him to become the killer clown he's known as today.
So John Wayne Gacy was born on March 17th, 1942 in Chicago, Illinois, to Dutch and Polish parents. Father was an alcoholic and very abusive at an early child. As he was growing up, he beat them with a razor strap and also abused their mother as well. His sister said after a couple beatings, he started to go numb, and John would stop crying from the beatings.
John was eventually alienated at school, and he was unable to participate in different physical activities. This being said, let him... What are the words? He was really
He was looked down upon from his father because he was not able to do because he was not able to perform different types of sports and activities which his father would have looked very highly up upon him, but he could not due to a heart condition.
And eventually after this, John Wayne Gacy also experienced questions with his sexuality. During his high school years, he realized that he was attracted to men, and he experienced great depression over his sexuality.
Damn, that's a terrible childhood.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, not the gay part.
Yeah, nothing against that.
He just had it rough.
Yeah. So the next thing we'll be going over is so his career as a clown, his early adulthood, especially with his wife and his kids. So for his career, Gacy started out as a fast food manager actually in the 60s, and later became a building contractor and a Democratic precinct captain in the Chicago suburbs in the late 70s. He organized cultural gatherings and was very active in political organizational groups as well.
So it sounds like he had a pretty okay average life. Sorry to say it, but he was married and divorced twice. He has 2 biological children and also 2 stepdaughters. Next, we're going to head into his days of being a clown.
So, joined Jolly Joker the clown. So John Wayne Gacy, when he first started becoming a clown, he joined the Jolly Joker Clown Club in the Chicago area. He frequently performed in an attire and makeup at children's birthday parties, charity events, and other events as his alter ego, and as what most people knew him as Pogo the Clown or Patches the Clown. And he did not use, and surprisingly enough, he actually did not use his clown ego to lure his victims in, and then he would eventually kill them later on.
So this moves on to our point of from his clown days into following his murder days. So he lured victims with the promise of getting a job for his construction company. He captured and sexually assaulted, tortured, and eventually strangled his victims with his hands or with a rope. During his years of killing, he had a conversation with detectives while under surveillance and said, "Clowns can get away with murder."
Imagine just killing a bunch of like teenage boys and then just like at the peak of your killing days, you just have an interview and you just basically flex on the police saying that they're never gonna catch you.
Well, he was one of a kind, all right. He gotta be a special crazy.
So in 1968, Gacy was convicted of sexually assaulting 2 teenage boys and was actually giving a 10-year prison sentence. But then later on, he was released on parole in the summer of 1970, and he was arrested again. The year following for another teen that accused him of sexual assault. But later the charges were dropped after the teen never showed up at the trial. By the middle of 1970, and then 2 more young teens accused him of rape, and police questioned him that the disappearance of a few others as well. Gary referred to this time as his crushing years because of the time period he committed most of his murders.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
He killed a lot. I don't even know what it takes someone. They're crazy.
Yeah. They just could not imagine just killing just like so many people in so short of time, and then just like the police never even questioning him.
Just at random too. And then he's over here boasting about it like it's some kind of accomplishment.
Yeah. I mean to him it sounds like it was.
Yeah. I guess that was the highlight of his life.
Yeah.
That's pretty sad.
Man, must be really clowning everybody.
Following on December 11th, 1978, 15-year-old Robert Pierce went missing after going to meet Gary to discuss a potential contracting job. Following this, 10 days later, police searched Gary's house, uncovering evidence in his involvement in numerous cases, including murder and other numerous crimes. They discovered that Gary committed his first killing in 1972, killing Timothy McCoy. Police discovered several trenches filled with human remains under his house. Gary confessed to killing about 30 people.
30 people. Holy hell.
That's a whole classroom full of kids.
It's more than a classroom full of kids here.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Small school gang.
So later on, February 6th, 1980, even though Gary confessed to the crimes, there were arguments about whether or not that he could declare himself insane and remitted to a state mental facility. Gary claimed that the murders he had committed was by an alternate personality that he had. The mental health professionals then testified for both sides about Gary's mental state. Gary was later found guilty of committing 33 murders and became known as one of the most ruthless serial killers in the United States history. After being convicted, he was sentenced to serve 12 death sentences and 21 natural life sentences.
That's crazy. How are you gonna kill somebody 12 times? How's that possible?
How are you gonna give him 21 natural life sentences?
He's gonna be in there for a while.
Yeah, you're gonna bury him in there.
Yeah. It sounds like that. You ever see that movie Split? The
Yeah.
Alternate personalities?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, except he was just faking it.
Yeah.
It's a fake split.
Man, he's not real. So, for his execution, he was imprisoned at Menard Correctional Center in Illinois for almost a decade and a half. After appealing the sentence and offering contradictory statements on the murders in interviews while in prison, Gary later denied being guilty to the charges and had a 900 telephone number set up with a 12-minute recorded statement during his innocence. Gary died by lethal injection on May 10th, 1994 at Stateville Correctional Center in Crest Hill, Illinois.
I mean, he got what he deserved at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Especially after killing 33 teenage boys and raping them, torturing. It's crazy to think about. So while Gary was in prison, he actually took up painting, and his paintings were to show the public, and his paintings were shown at the public, to the public at the Chicago Gallery. In his paintings, there was Pogo the Clown, otherwise known as himself, in these paintings. In 2017, 2 of his paintings were sold at auction, which were his originals painting of I Am Pogo the Clown and They Call Him Mr. Gary. Both of these paintings sold for a total of £4,000 and 4,325 pounds, which is a lot of money in the in currency.
The British currency.
The British currency, indeed.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Imagine killing people, making art, and then selling art for a lot of money.
Well, after you're dead.
After you're dead.
Yeah.
Man's the next Vincent Mingo. Wait till they uncover some more paintings. They're about to sell for millions. So, this will wrap up our Clownin Around presentation.
But before we go, we have a sponsored message by Paper Airplanes.
Paper Planes Incorporated. So, Paper Planes Incorporated is a paper plane website, and you will get a piece of paper in the mail with also a set of directions on how to make the coolest plane. And if you use our sponsor code, Clownin Around, you'll get 10% off on your cool customization plane. It also comes with markers, so you can customize it however you want. And if you're feeling a little spooky,
it also comes with stickers.
Clown stickers. Make sure you use the link in the bio. Alright guys, well, this is it.
It's been a good season, a good episode.
And
we will catch you in the next one.
Wish you all the best.